Welcome back to my playlist. In this playlist, I'm going to teach you about the basics of the SQL and the basics concept of the database. Okay, so हम प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीमेंट करने से पहले हमें बेसिक्स जानना ज़रूरी है कि आपकी SQL क्या है, the what's the structure query language. Okay, so like in this slide you can check out like there is one image where we are representing SQL. So there is some keyword like select table structure query. Okay, so like your SQL is structure query language. Okay, but it is different from another programming language. Like in a programming language we write the logic. Okay, logic for some kind of functionality. Okay, but here it is just a query language. Query language means you are dealing with the database. If you want to access the stored data, so you need to just write a one query for that. Like we need to fetch this data, we need to delete this data. So that's the query language. Okay, right? Second use is it is used for the create the structure. Like you want to create the database, you want to create the tables, you want to add the relationship between that. So it work for that. Also it is used for the manipulation purpose. Like manipulation is like select the data, store the data, delete the data, update the data. Okay, so there is two keywords words that define the SQL. So that is domain specific language. Domain specific language means it's only created for to deal with a database. Means कि database जो है only उसी के लिए यूज़फुल है. आप इससे प्रोग्राम नहीं लिख सकते हो, ये कोई अदर कोडिंग लैंग्वेज की तरह नहीं है, ये जस्ट डेटाबेस से डेटा को एक्सेस करने के लिए यूज़ की जाती है. एंड इट इज़ डिक्लेरेटिव लैंग्वेज. मीन्स डिक्लेरेटिव, वी जस्ट राइट व्हाट टू डू, वी आर नॉट डिफाइनिंग द लॉजिक, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज़ नोन एज डिक्लेरेटिव लैंग्वेज. Other language are procedural language, like what to do and how to do. We need to also define the logic, but here we just write queries, what to do. We are not saying how to do. Okay, so that's the basic. Like it is used for deletion, creation, read the data, delete the data. There are some common language like DDL, DML. These are the commands. TCL and DCL. First, DDL means we need to, like if you want to work with the how to create a table database, so that's the data definition. Means we are just defining the structure. Other than that, we have the data manipulation language. Like we are working with the data, we are playing with the data, we are manipulating the data. So in this video lecture, I'm going to cover basics DDL command like create, alter, drop. You need to open the new query, and in Object Explorer you can check the detail of the database. So like I want to create, the first thing is you need to create a database. Create database and database name, like how you can identify that. Like I'm giving DB as a database name. Okay, so this is the first query. So you need to execute this from here. Like in my system that DB is already created, so I'm giving like this one underscore for the unique name. Like now it will show command completed successfully, means database is created. Like where you can check like is this created or not, so you can check in the Object Explorer, DB underscore is created now. Now you want to work in this within this database, so you need to run this command use name of the database. Now what's the name of the database? Name of the database is DB. So this is important. You need to first execute this use DB. Means now we are selecting this and inside this we can work. So now second thing, like you can give the comment with the help of this, and I will write create table. So now I am going to work with the create table. For the create table, syntax is create table and table name I am giving here the std. Student, you can write here student, student. Okay, second thing is we need to define attributes. For that, inside the brackets I am writing like I want a roll number. Just like other variables you can't define, give the space. आप बीच में space नहीं दे सकते हो. For that we can use the underscore. We can't also use a special character. So int is the data type for the integer. You can also use big int if your number is larger. So second one is I want to give the first name f name, and I will use the data type here, the var is the variable length. Like if you are defining size 5 and you are just using 3, so memory will be allocated for that 3 size data, another will be saved for the other users. Okay, like I'm giving the first name as a size 10 is enough for that. It is variable length. It will take the memory according to your data. This not middle name is not required. So last name, and I will again give the data type. I can copy from here, paste it here. Okay, and I want to give next attribute as a, I can give the age. It is also the int. I'm writing just basic commands without any constraints like primary key, foreign key. Later on I will also explain how to add the constraints and what's the constraint. Like I want to add date of birth. It's not required. If you want to date of birth, so you can give date data type. There also exists the date, which will take in a date format. Course again varchar I can define the size, like 6 size is enough for that. Okay, so this is some. If you want to give the mobile contact, we can write big int will be used, big int as a data type. Okay, so in last we don't need to give the comma, you can give the semicolons. So now we will run this command, so it will display here. It is executed. You don't need to repeat the execution. Once it is executed, so you don't need to execute it again. So you can check here inside the DB table. You can check this student table is created, and you can check the columns. These are the columns detail, and you can check this here. If you want to describe, so you can use sp help as a strong stored procedure. Sp help table name student. It will describe the schema. Schema means structure, where you can check out the things. Like this is the schema. It will say the data type, size. Here it will define it is the there is primary key, foreign key, any kind of constraints. So now if you want to select the data, there is no data, but I will write the query select star means we want to select the all attribute from table name student. Okay, so this is, we are selecting the data. This here output will be represented here like attribute. You can check once we will fill the data here, so data will be represented here.